Welcome to the Improve81 podcast series. I'm Michelle Earl, Communications Manager for the Virginia Department of Transportation. We'll be talking today about a proposed widening project in Bristol between exits 10 and 7. The $37 million project was presented at a public hearing in October 2021, and the roadway design was approved by VDOT in late November 2021. Currently, the right-of-way phase is underway, and construction is anticipated to begin in early 2024. The project will take about 2 years to construct. With me today are I-81 Program Delivery Director Dave Covington and Bristol District's I-81 Corridor Improvement Plan Coordinator Gene Holley. Dave, will you provide a brief overview of the I-81 Corridor Improvement Program and specifically what has been accomplished in the Bristol District to date?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only been 3 years since the beginning of the I-81 Corridor Improvement Program, and we've made great progress, especially in Bristol District. But before I get to Bristol District's progress, just a quick overview of where we are on the entire corridor. We've completed significant projects all along the corridor, starting out with some of the operational projects like the flashing chevron installations. We've completed a lot of ramp extension projects in each of the 3 districts. Those were, as we refer to them, the low-hanging fruit projects that we could deliver very quickly that do have a very positive impact on safety and operations along the corridor. We've been able to advance some larger projects. I'll reference the design build project that's currently going on in Salem District, which is a widening from 2 lanes to 3 lanes, both northbound and southbound between exit 137 and 141. And we are moving forward with another design build project in the Stanton District, and that's through the Stanton area from exit 221 to 225. We are currently about halfway through a procurement to select a design build team to continue the design and construction. And we do expect construction to begin in late 2023. Getting to Bristol, early on, we completed several curve improvements and ramp extensions at numerous interchanges. One of those was a significant design build project in the Marion area where drivers merge onto northbound I-81 at exit 47. Contractors have also finished 2 ramp extensions at exit 39 in Smith County, and in that same area have completed a safety project that includes high-friction pavement application as well as animal control fencing. We have a new auxiliary lane connecting the southbound exit 54 with the Smith rest area. That will improve safety and traffic flow. We've also just awarded a contract for a truck climbing lane on northbound 81 and 7 Mile Forward area. That will be the first of 3 truck climbing lanes to go under construction in the Bristol District. The other 2 are scheduled to start in 2023. The delivery of the I-81 Corridor Improvement Program projects in the Bristol District has been excellent. To date, we have completed 44% of the I-81 Corridor Improvement Program projects within the district, with 17% of the projects currently under construction. That means that 61% of the projects in Bristol District are either complete or now under construction.
Thank you, Dave. Gene, let's move on to the subject at hand, widening between exits 10 and 7. Give us an overview of the proposed widening project and why it's important.
Yeah, this project, it widens southbound direction from exit 10 to 7, and it has traffic flows. It also includes the widening of the bridge over Old Dominion. We did 2 studies in the early stages of the project. We looked at, is it better to widen to the outside? Is it better to widen to the median? And it became apparent fairly quickly that if we widen to the median, we have an advantage of also being able to add a lane northbound. We have to use a wall. We have to use a barrier wall in the middle. So that meant building a wide shoulder on the northbound direction. Well, why build a wide shoulder on the northbound direction when you can turn it into a lane and get some advantage out of it? And that's what we decided to do. Plus the widening to the outside is going to take a lot of right-of-way requirements. It's going to hit communities. There's a lot of homes there. There's a lot of businesses there, and there's some environmental issues there. So it makes all the sense in the world to widen to the median side on that job. Adding capacity in both directions obviously is a huge advantage. 30 crashes in a 3-year span. 28 of them are not at all weather related. The geometry's straight, the roadway's straight. There's not a sight distance issue. Obvious explanation is it is a capacity issue. So getting 1.5 miles widening southbound and 1 mile widening northbound makes this a really exciting project. Anytime we can add a third lane, add capacity, safety is improved.
Dave, Gene touched on the environmental aspects of the project, and one of those things is lessening the footprint of the project.
Yeah, Michelle. I mean, what we're seeing here in this decision-making process is really supportive of what we're doing throughout the entire corridor, which is we're really looking to minimize our impact, minimize our footprint. We don't want to be buying right-of-way unnecessarily. We want to use the right-of-way that we have available to us now to the greatest extent possible. It helps with our environmental footprint to minimize our impact to the environment. And it also brings up opportunities like what Gene has talked about with the ability to do some beneficial work on the northbound side at minimal cost while we're doing work on the southbound side. So it really provides, some opportunities for us as well.
Gene, Southbound I-81 widening includes widening of the bridge over Old Dominion Road. How will the bridge widening impact motorists traveling beneath the bridge to access Old Dominion Road and the Lowry Hills community?
Old Dominion Road access will be maintained while the bridge above is being widened. We currently plan to use a temporary signal at Old Dominion to control one-way traffic beneath the bridge. We anticipate the new traffic pattern will cause only minimal delays. However, motorists should plan for slight delays during peak morning and afternoon travel times.
Dave, tell us about the traffic on I-81 during construction and how VDOT works with contractors to minimize impacts and enhance safety.
Sure. As with all projects along the I-81 corridor, contractors working on the Bristol-Area widening will schedule lane closures during nighttime hours to minimize traffic disruptions. Motorists can expect shoulder closures for the duration of construction with barrier wall adjacent to travel lanes. There may be phases of the project that require temporary daytime lane closures, generally associated with the bridge construction over Old Dominion Road. VDOT construction staff and our contractor partners frequently travel through our work zones to ensure that the work zone is as safe as possible. Are all signs in the right location with the right messages that are clear and concise? Is the pavement in good condition? Is there debris in the roadway that needs to be removed? When we need to shift travel lanes, is it safe for vehicles of all sizes to navigate? Is the work zone well lit at night, or are lights potentially causing issues for motorists? Those are the kinds of questions that we ask ourselves as we navigate through the work zone. In addition to this specific work zone, we have worked hard to develop a transportation management plan guidance document. This document applies to the entire corridor and helps designers and contractors establish work zones that are not only safe, but consistent along the corridor. Consistent work zones help motorists predict how a work zone is going to look and feel as they drive along the I-81 corridor. The result is a more relaxing driving experience. A relaxed driver is a much safer driver than one who is confused and stressed by inconsistent work zones.
Okay, Gene, exit 7 is where northbound traffic currently merges back into 2 lanes. You mentioned widening about 1 mile of northbound I-81 near exit 7. How does the northbound widening benefit the current traffic issues at this location?
Well, currently the existing condition has a lane merge from the left because we're going from 3 lanes to 2 lanes. And we have an acceleration lane at exit 7 heading northbound for the on-ramp. So drivers in the middle kind of get the sandwich feeling, with it's such a close proximity, having to merge left and right can make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it feels like traffic's coming at you from both directions, kind of sandwiching you in.
Absolutely. So, with this plan, we're going to separate that by about 1 mile. So one merge will actually occur way earlier than the other.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. That's all the questions I have for you today. For future podcasts, videos, and more information about the I-81 Corridor Improvement Program in Virginia, be sure to visit Improve81.org.